most victims to be ready to come forward, actually even to recognize that this event, which they've been suppressing, this horrific event or events, they've been suppressing for decades, were in fact part of their lives and impacted a great deal of their lives. It is then when they come forward, but unfortunately the statute doesn't allow them to be able to seek redress. So this denies justice to victims. It allows the perpetrators of the abuse and those complicit to continue preying on children or otherwise turning a blind eye. We all have heard the stories and the power that these individuals have had over these usually youngsters, bringing this abuse and the shame and the difficulties connecting with life and being able to live a normal life until they go through therapy, which can take some time. So the last time California opened the window for old cases in 2003, 900 victims came forward. They exposed over 250 child molesters and saved thousands of children from becoming future targets. However, we know there are many who are still out there who had not made the connection between their abuse and current psychological injury at the time of the opening, when they would have qualified to be able to bring these cases. Because of how our law is currently written, they will never have a chance to come forward and pursue legal claims. We know we can never erase the pain, but this measure will expand access to justice for victims of childhood sexual assault by granting them more time to pursue their legal remedies. This hopefully will help expose perpetrators who have been going on for years, indeed decades, abusing our most vulnerable youth, and this will hold them accountable. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Any discussion or debate on this item? Senator Morlock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with the floor manager that righting the wrongs of past sins is a righteous and a just thing to do. And I concur that the psychological illness caused by childhood sexual abuse is not disputed. This harm requires expensive and time-consuming counseling, and including for some, spiritual counseling. But colleagues, there is nothing more frustrating than a self-inflicted wound, all the more so if it is intentional. AB 218 exposes California's strapped school districts to potential lawsuit settlements that are not covered by insurance, and in the remote chance that they are, we'll see insurance premiums skyrocket, carriers disappear. We're already seeing that with homeowners in WUI areas. Of California's 940 audited school districts, only 95, 10%, have positive unrestricted net positions. What further cuts will have to be made? And we should not shoot the school districts in the foot. I urge a no vote on AB 218. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any further discussion or debate on this item? Senator Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I speak in strong support of this item. As a person who was sexually abused as a child, and while I never forgot about that abuse, I was unable to deal with it or get myself the therapy I needed. I just buried it. I was not able to do so until I was adult. And in fact, what triggered my ability to confront it was when my own daughter became the age that I was when my abuse started. The data shows that most people who are abused as children, it happens because they are taken advantage of by someone who they trust, and they are not in a setting, in a household or other setting, where they feel they are able to convey what happened to them and be protected. And so you carry that with you, which keeps you from being able to convey it and thus act to protect yourself until the moment that you are either in adequate therapy or you break. That can be 30, 40, 50 years after the abuse. So, to deny anyone from being able to seek the appropriate damages to deal with the consequences of that abuse is wrong. I stand in strong support. Thank you.
Additional testimony? Senator Bell.
Yes, this issue has been legislated in the past. I introduced the bill twice, vetoed twice by Governor Jerry Brown. I hope our new governor has a different opinion about this issue, and I am supportive of this. This is a long time coming. We've been trying to get this bill established for the last 8 or 9 years, and I urge and I vote on it. It was a bipartisan support. We put it on the governor's desk, I think 2 or maybe 3 times, and it was always vetoed. So let's get this bill signed by the governor. I urge and I vote.
Thank you. Any additional witnesses' testimony on this issue? Hearing and seeing none, Senator Jackson, would you like to close?
Yes, thank you. You know, this is a horrific crime that has been perpetuated on far too many of our young people, with the complicity of groups like the church. And it is beyond time that we made it very clear that these victims deserve their day in court, deserve their vindication and their justice. It is beyond time that we make it very clear that we're not going to condone or tolerate this behavior going forward. This bill helps those victims try to heal and get the justice they so rightly deserve. And with that, I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you all. Debate and discussion having ceased. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on this item.
Allen. Archuleta. Aye. Atkins. Aye. Bates. Bell. Aye. Borges. Bradford.
Aye.
Aye. Caballero. Aye. Chang. Aye. Daly. Dodd. Aye. Durazo. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Gonzalez. Aye. Grove. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Whistle. Aye. Hurtado. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Jones. Leva. Aye. McGuire. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Portantino. Roth. Aye. Rubio. Aye. Skinner. Aye. Stern. Aye. Stone. Aye. Umberg. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wiener. Wilk. Wilk, aye.
Senator Jackson moves to call.